Done it again, Marge. You cracked this conspiracy wide open. The other misleading meteorologist, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's pushing a theory that says Democrats control storms. Listen, Marjorie, if they could control the weather, they would have made sure a house landed directly on you, you demented wicked witch.
Remember when weather was just small talk? Well, grab your tinfoil hat, folks, because apparently now it's a political weapon. Yep, you heard that right. Some people think Democrats are secretly controlling the weather to mess with Republican districts. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Imagine the chaos. Meteorologists getting death threats, disaster relief turning into a partisan slugfest, and science becoming about as welcome as a skunk at a garden party. Buckle up, Buttercup, because we're diving into the wild world of weather conspiracies, where facts are optional and common sense is on vacation. Folks, if you're trying to make sense of modern politics, you might need more than a tinfoil hat, maybe a whole tinfoil suit. Let's talk about the latest conspiracy theory that's got everyone buzzing. Marjorie Taylor Greene, or MTG as she's known, has cooked up a real doozy.
The other misleading meteorologist, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's pushing a theory that says Democrats control storms to direct the hurricanes to destroy President Trump's beloved Cajun fried chicken. And there's more.
She's claiming that Democrats are controlling the weather to attack Republican areas. Yeah, you heard that right. Apparently, the Dems have traded in their donkey for a magic weather wand. Now, while MTG is busy playing meteorologist, we've got real climate issues to deal with. You know, boring stuff like rising sea levels, extreme weather events, and the fact that polar bears are running out of ice cubes for their Coca-Cola. But who cares about that when we can blame the other party for bad weather, right? And MTG's not alone in the conspiracy circus. Some folks think those white lines in the sky aren't just plain exhaust, but chemtrails used for weather control. Others believe there's a secret weather weapon in Alaska. I guess they think Santa got tired of making toys and decided to play Zeus instead. Jimmy Kimmel, bless his heart, tried to make sense of all this nonsense. He pointed out that if Democrats could really control the weather, they'd probably start with making Florida less humid. I mean, come on, if they had that power, wouldn't they have used it to stop bad hair days during campaign season?
She wrote, yes, they can control the weather. It's ridiculous to lie and say it can't be done. And even more mysterious, when you lay a map of Bojangles Cajun fried chicken restaurants.
Kimmel didn't stop there. He compared denying climate change while claiming expertise in weather manipulation to accusing someone of being a master chef while insisting their kitchen doesn't exist. It's like saying, you're the world's best baker, but ovens are a hoax. But here's where the laugh track stops. These wacky theories are having real consequences. Meteorologists, the folks who just want to tell us if we need an umbrella or not, are getting death threats. Can you imagine? How dare you predict rain on my barbecue day? You must be working for the Democrats. And it's not just the weather folks feeling the heat. Even some Republicans are getting worried. Senator Tom Tillis said disaster victims don't need political finger-pointing or conspiracy theories. Even Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, not exactly known for his climate activism, thought MTG's claims were a bit much. When you're too extreme for Florida man, you know you've gone off the deep end.
Listen, Marjorie, if they could control the weather, they would have made sure a house landed directly on you, you demented wicked witch. Laid over an electoral map, which he says proves the government intentionally sent a hurricane to Republican voting districts.
But wait, there's more. This conspiracy circus is just warming up. Grab your popcorn, folks, because the show's about to get even wilder. Remember when late night TV was all about celebrity gossip and silly skits? Well, those days are as dead as Trump's natural hair color. Now, our comedy heroes are diving headfirst into the murky waters of political insanity. But here's the million-dollar question. Can laughter actually change minds? Or are we just giggling our way to the apocalypse? Late-night hosts like Jimmy Kimmel and Jon Stewart are suiting up to tackle these wild weather conspiracy theories. It's like they're trying to clean up a toxic waste spill with nothing but a mop and a bucket of jokes. But hey, at least they're trying, right?
How many letters are in Helene? 6. Now watch what happens when you take the middle 3 letters in Bojangles and add the number 6. Hurricane ripped the sleeves off all her shirts, and she posted a map she finds suspicious. It shows the path of Hurricane Helene because you can't spell the word Bojangles without bagels.
Kimmel, in particular, has been having a field day with MTG's weather control claims. He joked that if Democrats really could control the weather, they'd probably start by making Florida less humid. I mean, come on, if they had that power, wouldn't they have used it to give Trump a bad hair day during the debates? But it's not all fun and games. These comedians are walking a tightrope, trying to make serious issues funny without trivializing them. It's like trying to juggle grenades while telling knock-knock jokes. One wrong move, and boom. Kimmel hit the nail on the head when he said, "Donald Trump has pushed us to the point where we can't even agree on the weather. What a stupid time to be alive." He even suggested unplugging America and plugging it back in again for a reboot. If only it were that simple, right? But here's the thing, these jokes might be doing more than just making us laugh. They're shining a spotlight on the absurdity of these conspiracy theories. It's like they're holding up a mirror to the craziness and saying, hey, look at how ridiculous this is.
Done it again, Marge. You cracked this conspiracy wide open. Massive Category 5 hurricane heads towards Florida. Trump has been spreading untruths about the Biden response to the hurricane in North Carolina. None of that true. President Biden hasn't taken any money from FEMA to use for immigration, but you know who did? Oh, do I even have to say?
Humor can be a powerful tool against misinformation. It's like a Trojan horse sneaking facts into people's brains while they're busy laughing. And let's face it, it's a lot easier to swallow the truth when it's coated in a thick layer of comedy. But is laughter really enough to weather this storm of stupidity? Can we joke our way out of this mess, or are we just rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic?
We're giving almost all of the FEMA money to illegal immigrants in what is now considered to be the worst rescue operation in the history of the U.S. So egregious, even their Republican senator had to ask him to stop. But he wrote, the great people of North Carolina are being stood up by Harris and Biden.
Stick around, folks. The forecast calls for more absurdity with a chance of sanity, but don't hold your breath for that last part. Alright folks, we've weathered quite a storm of stupidity today. While comedy might not change the actual weather, it sure can blow away those pesky conspiracy clouds. Jimmy Kimmel and Jon Stewart are like our comedic weathermen, forecasting the absurdity and clearing the air with laughter. But here's the thing, we can't just sit back and let the comedians do all the work. It's up to us to be our own fact checkers. Next time you hear a wild claim about weather machines or Democrats controlling hurricanes, don't just nod along. Do some digging, use your noggin, and maybe crack open a science book or two. Remember, critical thinking is like sunscreen for your brain. It protects you from getting burned by hot takes and conspiracy theories. So let's all try to be a little smarter, a little more skeptical, and a lot more informed. After all, when it comes to battling misinformation, we're all in this together, come rain or shine.